Welcome to The Life of Hair. My name's James Atkinson. Thank you for joining me in this week's episode. Before I tell you about this week's episode though, a few of you have been requesting 2020 course dates from me. Now I've got some confirmed dates to tell you about. They're my L'Oreal Redken course dates. It's a balayage course. They're linked in the description down below at the L'Oreal Access website. All the dates are also in the description. And if you'd like me to come to your salon and do personal coaches or train your entire team, then do direct message me on Instagram where we can have a good chat about the potential of me doing that for you. I absolutely love personal coaches and coming to people's salons and helping you grow your businesses. The other thing is there's no European course dates yet and there's no American course dates yet, but that I am working on. So if anything emerges, I will be sure to let you know about that as it happens. In this particular episode, we're going to look at baby lighting, a fantastic technique to convert existing scalp bleach clients or people who have got highlights that have become very dense and built up. It is a superb way of softening their regrowths. So I hope you enjoy the episode. And if you do, then smash that thumbs up button. Do subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you again next time for another episode of The Life of Hair. First thing we'll look at is the pre-section. We're going to section off from the highest point of the head through to the back of the ears, straight down the centre back to create a hot cross bun section of 4 quadrants. This is a super simple baby lighting technique, and I would add that I'm using extra wide foils so that I can foil the whole back without using 2 foils. So if you're using normal width foils, then you may need to split these sections into 2. As we work our way up the head, I am taking 1.5 centimetre width sections. I'm saturating the hair with bleach and working my way up just like that, all the way through this back quadrant. As I come to the top here, I will end up with a small triangle of hair that I will not worry about at this moment in time. We will deal with that once we have foiled the other side. I do exactly the same thing on this left hand side, 1.5 centimetre sections. I subdivide the 1.5 centimetre sections with a fine weave through the top of that section. And then I foil my way all the way up until I end up with a small triangle of hair that mirrors the same size and shape of triangle that I left on the right hand side. Keeping your sections ultra fine is super important in this technique. So if you think your sections are not paper fine, then just weave it again. Don't need to take another section, just double weave. That is the left hand side complete, and now we have a triangular section in the crown area. A very small triangle straight off the back of your previous 2 sections that you have completed, and then work your way up to the top of the highest point of the head in this exact formation. We then subdivide the hair through the parietal ridge, which gives us 4 quadrants on the front section. Take an ultra fine section right on the front hairline, weave that ultra fine section and put your foil as close to the front hairline. This will achieve a beautiful face frame as we work through the sections. The next section is only 0.5 centimetre or 5 millimeters away from the previous section, and therefore will sit very close to the previous section, giving us more face frame around the hairline. This next section is 1 centimetre away from the previous foil. And we're using exactly the same technique. Super fine weaves throughout. I always think that when I'm showing people how to do baby lights, that generally their sections are too thick. This is a big mistake with baby lights. You have to go as fine as you dare. This section is 1.5 centimetre spacings. So we started with right on the hairline. We then did 5mm or 0.5 centimetre spacings, 1 centimetre spacings, then we're into 1.5 centimetre spacings. Leave that small triangle of hair that you saw in the top right hand corner on the previous section and repeat on the opposite side. Putting your first foil right on the front hairline, your second foil 5mm away from the second foil, then 1 centimetre spacings for the next 2 or 3 dependent on the size of your client's head, and then move to 1.5 centimetre spacings. It is a super simple technique. One of the really important things about this technique is the gaps in between the foils. It creates superb dimension and it stops it giving that over-foiled look. In this particular instance, we've been taking my client away from a scalp bleach for some time now, and this is a great example of a technique that is really, really easy to use. On these top 2 sections, we're using the diagonal backward section. It is important to understand your diagonals. In this instance, diagonal backwards will create super soft, blended, seamless results. And unlike the front sections at the bottom, my first 3 sections here are all 5mm spacings, keeping the sections super fine as you can see, and making sure that I evenly saturate for maximum lift. Once I've done these 3 foils at 5mm spacings, I'm going to slightly increase the width of my spacings up to 1 centimetre, and I'm going to continue to work in that fashion through the rest of the top. Exactly as we did in the back, I'm not going to worry about that small triangle of hair that is in that last section. I will deal with that in just a moment. We're going to do exactly the same thing as I did on the opposite side here. Then we're going to deal with that little triangle in exactly the same way as we did on the crown. Split it into 2, take a very, very fine section, weave from the top, making sure your sections, guys, I've said it 3 times in this video, are ultra fine is so important to the success of these techniques. Anything more than ultra fine sections will inevitably give you a very stripy look if you're going to leave such big spacings in between sections. This is one of the main fears for people leaving large spaces in between their sections, is having their highlights look like streaky bacon. It is really important that you keep the sections ultra fine when you are leaving gaps in between your foils. Here's the finished result. I did tone this, and I'm going to make a video about how I toned it. It was going to make this video too long to talk about in this particular episode, but it is super soft, super beautiful, and to only think 2 applications ago, this client's hair was a full scalp bleach. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you have, then please do hit that subscribe button, smash the thumbs up, and leave me a comment.